Wonderful. So let's see. A new setting today. I'm very happy for that. So thank you, Nutan, for being with us today. And thank you, Lee, for holding my hand in this interview for the first time. Super nice. Let's see. So let's see. I always start with a question that for some people are very easy and for some people are a little bit more, it's a little bit deeper, let's say.
Okay.
So we start by the simple question of who is Nutan? Who is this person that I have in front of me? Who is behind these two eyes that are looking at the screen right now? Who is this person? And you can go as personal or as professional as you wish. It's just for you to tell us right now, who are you?
Uh, I'm this little gift from Earth, from God on Earth. Here, I'm a warrior. I want to see happy faces around, be it anybody. Uh, I do whatever in my capacity to make sure I can do something better in somebody's life. And every difficult situation in my life, I see as an opportunity to learn and grow. And that's who I am today. A strong, independent, heavy headed, but very soft, very loving, love to nurture people. That's me.
Thank you so much for that. Lee, I will invite you whenever you want. You just jump in with questions, just for you to fill that. I know that right now you are in New York, but I also know that tomorrow you're going to be flying to India.
Yes.
Take us a little bit in that journey. How did you end up in New York? How was all this whole journey that took you there, the life journey, let's say? How
My
it all
life,
started?
my life journey has been very interesting, very not the usual norm that most women in India would have. Grew up in a very loving, nurturing family, um, well cared for. Picked up my life partner, hoping to be with him forever. Fought against all odds to be married to him. Had a beautiful life there and 2 kids from my marriage. Supported my dream and career. Grew up really mentoring a lot of students, a lot of kids, and um, my team workers in the fashion and publishing industry, organizing trade shows and so on. As life had it or destiny had it for me, things started to shake up and I had to move out of India and I landed in America all alone, trying to just find a new path and not knowing where and what I would be doing the next day. But happy to have met wonderful people all along. They helped me few minutes, few hours, few days, few months, whatever, to really make me who I am today. My deep gratitude to each one of them. And started to get my acts back together in career, had to go back to education to really prove on paper that I was something. Took up jobs in the jewelry industry and just struggled my way through the immigration process. And, everything was a stepping stone and it really helped. And 2 years later, my kids joined me. And then my focus was really giving them the best in life, best of education, best of infrastructure support, everything. And in that whole process, um, I happen to be the only person from my family in the United States. And we are a very big family and a circle of friends. So my home became the home for all kids wanting to aspire to come to America and to study or career. And in the process, um, I would say I welcomed and supported over 20 kids in the last 20 years. They stayed with me. I mentored them. I did everything that I could to support them and help them grow. The only condition there was that they were allowed to do anything and everything to enjoy life as well, but they had to stay focused and they had to find a purpose in life, because I had pulled them out from their ground and their family to find a new life. So that to me is my biggest treasure today. I have almost 30 kids and 30 homes in this country whom I feel they are my homes now. I'm welcome 24/7 to anyone's house. They adore me, they respect me. So that's my biggest earning. In profession, I work through the jewelry industry as a gemstone buyer, a jewelry buyer, and then into sales of jewelry. And then I moved to another catalog company. Um, Initially hired as the jewelry buyer, but never look at things very narrow. I always look at the bigger horizon and what else I can do. So I grew wider and I handled many, many portfolios, including food and coins and collectibles and other aspects of fashion. And then just almost all imports out of India, because I had the Indian background. So having, just learning and putting my experiences to use, it was a wonderful experience with my previous company as well. I was 15 years with them. And through the whole process, everything that I did was not enough for me. I really felt I was contributing only 15-20% of my appetite and my capabilities. So I started to look into my own vision, my own dream of launching my own brand. And having been in the jewelry and gemstone world, my love and passion for gemstones kept growing more and more the more I was dealing with it. I was dealing with, people right from the mines. They would bring those crude rocks, and some of them at the shows, I would see like big mountain loads of rocks, and they were just so beautiful. So that, really inspired me and made me look at the earth from a very beautiful, different aspect. That this is our beautiful earth and the kind of healing properties it had. I just think that people have not really learned enough of it and witnessed enough of the beauty in the gemstone. So it's my dream and mission to kind of bring that out to the world and talk about the healing properties and beauties in our earth, the earth we all live on. So that's one of my missions here. And the other one, um, at the core, other than just seeing happy faces around, I really want to do a lot more for women. And the core there, I feel, is economic independence to women. I think once women are economically independent, a lot of the abuse, torture, mental, physical, all that would go out the window.
Thank you for that. And I can totally see the connections of the mission, possible connections to your personal story. There's one question that's coming up, and it's like the fashion and jewelry industry. It's one of the least connected to the earth by now. It's one of the most disconnected. And I'm really, really curious that aspect that you're bringing in of how can we bridge again this connection and bring in women to be able to support that. So I'm wondering how you have been experiencing yourself the industry both in India and in the US, how different it was, and how do you see it growing? What do you see coming like up next in that specific industry that is one of the quite destructive ones by now, right? Like the way that it is right now.
So the two worlds really operate very differently. And I have been lucky to experience both of them at grassroots level, and having been in the merchandising world and studying consumer behavior as well, I see that what the world needs is really not translated down to the roots. So, what is locally available, the resources or the skills, they are very nice, very intricate, but they are not geared to mass production, to really fulfill the needs of the global demand, especially when you are talking of things with arts and crafts and the skill that goes into it. And jewelry and gemstone also traditionally have been a very family-owned business industry. So they have a very limited, narrow scope of work, and exposure also is a lot of limitation. And so they are not able to grasp what the consumer really needs. And I think my role, after being a buyer and into sales here, I feel very confident to translate that to the artisans, back home, and really come up with products with innovation, with quality, with the ease of use and wear, and things alike that would be a win-win for both ends of the society. And jewelry as a subject is more predominantly women, and I think the arts, crafts, and everything also, the majority force behind it is women, and I think this is an easy space to really have women enter more and more into it and support it.
Wonderful. Yeah, I remember that you told me that even though the majority of the creators are women, many times the wholesalers are like 90 or 95% men, which is very interesting.
Yes.
And I guess that's both in India and in the US right now.
More so in India. I would say 20 years ago, it was probably 80-90% men, men managed industry. It has changed in India as well, and not so much in the Western world. I think we see a good mix here. But since the supply comes more from the Asian or the African countries there, especially for gemstones, so that is male dominated.
Thank you. Liz, anything coming from your side? I just want to give some space here.
Yeah, no, I for me, it feels like you've almost had a whole bunch of different lives. And it brings me to the question of like, why are you the one that needs to be on the journey doing this right now? Because they all tie in. So like how do these tie in to make it so that you're at this place at this time, being the one that needs to drive it forward?
I'm going to answer your why me in a very different way. My son, my youngest son, has been a firefighter. And one late night, he comes home after fire in a house somewhere, and his helmet was all melted. He was all black, smoke and coughing and everything. And my heart cried out because he had pretty much been in fire, and he escaped and he did what he had to do as a firefighter. And I said, Arpit, do you really need to do this? I don't like you to be in that fire. And he said, Mom, it's going to be someone's son who has to do it. So why not me? So I think we all have a role in this earth. So why me is, it just makes me happy. I sleep well, I feel I've done something good. So not sure where it's going to lead me to, but it's my mission. And, I have luckily been free from my responsibilities since my children are both married and settled, and all the others who came along with me have all grounded into good places. So I just think it's time for me to fly, take on to a new journey and just be myself now.
I see a lot of that kind of caretaker.
Almost feels like I've been biking.
Yeah.
We loves to do.
I kind of get a bit of that caretaker vibe with all the children that have come over, but like you've got the experience both in India, in the West, yes, and been able to see both of those perspectives. And I remember you talking about like what the world really needs,
right?
And I guess at its core, who is it that you're wanting to or looking to support and take care of with this journey with jewelry?
Women overall, and in turn, everybody who comes into the loop. When I say women, I do not mean I do not love men, or they are equally important, equally supportive, equal strong pillars of the society. I just think women have been put on a secondary pedestal, and that's not fair. We deserve to be at par. Not above, but certainly at par.
I always tend to feel that jewelry is almost like it's an emblem. Like it's something that you wear mostly because you as a woman feel good to have it on you.
Yes.
And it's very interesting that many times the own creators of the jewelries will never be able to wear what they are creating.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take us in that journey. I know that you have been working with women from India that are creating crafts from there, and you are transporting them and having them in New York, available in New York and in other countries around the world. How has it been, the interest? Because I know that your jewelry it's a different category. It's not the typical. Guide me a little bit of what is actually really different about Nectar, and how does that expand into the Nectar Foundation also? So how do you connect all of that cycle?
Okay, so jewelry typically, traditionally has been two different segments or two different industries, we can call it. The fine jewelries, so that's all, classified under precious metals, platinum, gold, silver, and so on. By trade, they are categorized as fine jewelry. Whether they have diamond, gemstones, or CZ, or imitation, doesn't matter. That's the secondary component. So that's the fine jewelry segment. And then there is fashion jewelry. That's pretty much imitation jewelry. So no precious metal, irrespective of stones or techniques or craftsmanship they have. So fine jewelry typically has been positioned, and it is also more expensive high-end jewelry. Traditionally, what women have had it right from the royal days till day and till the most popular engagement ring and so on. And fashion jewelry has pretty much been treated as wear and throw. You like it today, you wear it. It's very affordable. Just when I was a fine jewelry buyer, I called it junk jewelry. So not that it's the negative word there, but so there's been these two segments. And when you talk of fashion jewelry, it's really, bring it down to the lowest penny you can afford to get it. And it's an everyday use and throw. So we felt that with the more women in career, women in profession, the need to have more variety and more taste and uniqueness in the design, not compromising on the quality, not making it look fashion or cheap. So that was a vacuum there. So that is where we decided to bring in Nectar. So it's the new jewelry term or the industry that is being kind of getting recognized. It's called the demi-fine jewelry. And so these are basically made with alloy of brass and 18 karat gold plated. We can even do 14 karat, 10 karat, but Nectar does 18 karat gold plated. And they all have genuine gemstone elements in it. Again, gemstones from the beautiful earth, natural mineral with all its beauty and the healing properties that it brings to you. So we are not using any imitation stones at all. What we have is genuine gemstones only. And then to add to it is the whole intricacy in the craftsmanship that is going in. They are all handcrafted with woven beads or different kind of techniques used, or even picking inspirations from the traditional crafts from India, like we have the Dokra designs. That's a very different kind of carving that's done on the design. So we have the rabari, from another place in Gujarat. So we're trying to bring in the rich tradition, culture, and the techniques, and bringing that together in Nectar. And then the whole design aesthetics is very urban, very modern, which any woman in career, whatever profession she may be, and she has enough to choose from and from different price points. So it's really filling in that gap to the more boutique-y, high-end trendsetter jewelry.
And how did the name came to you? Like, why Nectar?
The name is very, very dear to me. So Nectar is born out of a bigger mission and a project that is in progress in its infant development stages. So it's basically putting together the two ends of the society, as I said, the artisans and people in the remote places of India or different parts of the world. And at the other end, people, very successful, affluent women around. And basically trying to meet the needs of the two is, what my mission really is, help service both of them. And so we're working on a project in India. It's called Nectar Town, where we really want to, have both the communities mingle together. So I kind of came up with the concept of the whole beehive and the honeybees, right? And how they bring in nectar from different flowers around, no distinction, what is nice, what is beautiful, what smells good, what tastes good. They bring in that and they come into the beehive and they have a whole colony, as we call them, the hardworking female bees that put it into the beehive. So that's my kind of vision of the whole society that I want to create around nectar, as like the hardworking, dedicated women coming together, and and what they produce is there for all human beings. The beautiful nectar, it has so much of healing there and so much of medicinal properties and all. So that's where the name Nectar came from.
That's beautiful. I know that project has been progressing also in India, so can't wait to see it finished,
yes,
the town itself.
Thank you.
Hopefully visit it also. Let's see.
Yeah.
Lee, is any question coming from you? And now after that, then that we will start closing for the live.
I'm just wondering what's next for you and Nectar. What's on the horizon?
Next really is, we launched Nectar in 2017, and it has been in its infant stages, just trying to make our presence there. We have made a dent into some of the bigger retailers, with Anthropology, Critical, Nordstorm, John Lewis, Tada, globally. So it was a little touch that we made it an impact even in the media, international media. Unfortunately, COVID impacted and we had to put things on a little low ebb. So my mission really is to really reach out with Nectar across the world and partner with more people who align with similar passion to help women, to help the society, and also really be very natural and core. No camouflage, no fat around. I just love being natural, and so I think with whole big team of people, we really want to take it forward to fulfill our mission of servicing.
Wonderful. I'm pretty sure that there's some steps will be taken, because I know that you're going to India and you're going to be there for how long? 3 months? 4 months?
4 months.
Well, yeah, that's wonderful. And I know you're going to be meeting some of your creators also there. And
absolutely.
Who knows what else will come up.
Yes.
in the journey. We're going to be accompanying you in that. Going towards the end, I always ask like two questions, two specific questions. And the first one is like, what is the unique gift that you, Nutan, is bringing to the world?
Unique. I just think spreading love with no boundaries, no conditions, no biological threads there. You're my son, you are not. I don't. To me, it doesn't. There is no distinction.
That's beautiful. We definitely need more of that in today's world, with no distinctions, especially.
No distinctions.
And what kind of support do you need right now to continue thriving, to continue evolving yourself or your company or both?
I need all kind of support. As I said, I need like-minded people to partner. It's just been my mission, my dream. I experimented with developing the product with the help of the right designers, and it pretty much has been a testing phase for me with all the investments that I have done in it. So I just think, the products being picked up by all these major retailers is a satisfaction that something is right there. So I just want more people to come and partner and just be part of the whole team, and we all grow together. So whether they are commerce partners, investment partners, more manufacturing partners, say we can do it in different parts of the world. We're all willing to join the bandwagon together. I don't want to drive it alone. I don't see myself in a line. I see myself in a circle. We are all in it together.
I love that image, and I feel that that's very much where most of the companies that are changing the paradigm are going towards. So it would be wonderful to see how all of that progresses. Lee, is there anything that's coming from your side? Should we start closing slowly?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've just thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think your mission needs to be out there, and looking forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you so much. Yes, me too.
So before we go, I just want to see if there's anything coming from your side, Nutan, that wants to be expressed as a last comment, and then we're slowly going to go into the closing.
Just one thing that I feel that each one, every human being on this earth should consciously do, on an everyday basis is one, no hatred, please. Why do we hate somebody around or anywhere? And second thing, very important, just little acts of kindness. Whatever we think every day, whatever little, even if it means just opening the door for somebody who wants to walk in, I just feel that brings a lot of bliss. Absolutely. So if each one of us can start to think on those lines and do a little acts of kindness, this world would be a much better place.
I couldn't agree more on that. Thank you so much for being with us today. Stay on the call. I'm just going to close the Facebook Live.
Thank you. Thank you, Aliki and Lee. Thank you so much.
Stopping the live, and I'm stopping the recording for now.